Championship point number 3. Alcaraz serving. Bouncing.
Yeah.
Big serve out wide, and he's got it.
Such a good serve.
And Fergus is correct. No collapse. He does do a little squat. Very different, though. And Sinner doesn't even look mad. He doesn't.
He looks happy.
Yeah, like this is such a great rivalry. Ooh, Nerlon has a good question.
It's a very healthy rivalry.
I don't know, Nerlon, that this has proven that Carlos is the better server than Sinner. I think that it proves that he is a top 5 server in the world, though, which Sinner also is. And you don't see that from a 6-footer very often. Like, typically, it's the taller guys. Look at Alcaraz. Yeah. He's fired up. I'll tell you this much. If I'm a nightclub in New York City tonight, watch out. We got Donnie T and Alcaraz in town. He's going to the stands.
That's the first time they've shown him on the broadcast, actually, since the match started.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Where's Alcaraz going? Also, look at all the security around him.
He's going to his team.
Not only is Alcaraz the champion in Flushing Meadows, he is also the new world number 1.
Yes.
Remember when Alcaraz was having kind of like a down stretch?
February to the start of the clay.
Yeah.
He was in really iffy form.
I mean, people were talking about firing JC.
Yeah.
Which is crazy now, seeing that his record is currently 45-6. 45-2. Sorry, 45-2 since Monte Carlo.
That's
incredible. That is a very, very. That's a good line from the producer. Juan Carlos Ferrero, not Jeremy Corbyn. Although people do get them mixed up all the time, I'm told.
All the time. I am told. I'm also informed they do get mixed up.
I actually have never seen the two of them in the same room. Connect those dots.
Interesting.
Yep.
I'll have to think about that one tonight.
Carlos is the champion. Carson, you were here for the entire thing. Quickly, Nerlon, this is 6th slam, US Open 22, Wimbledon 23, Wimbledon 24, Roland Garros 24, and Roland Garros 25, and that's number 6.
Yep.
Carson, you caught the entire thing. Tell us, break it down. How did it go? How was it Jannik or was it Carlos being too good?
Yeah, I mean, Sinner, I think that's not his highest level. That might be the best match that Carlos has ever played. Like, outside of one bad service game in the second set, that was absolutely incredible tennis from him. Yeah, I mean, the serve motion that they started working on a few months ago, it's obviously paying massive dividends now. Yeah, he just has such easy power, I think someone in the chat said, which is a great way to put it. So, yeah, he did nothing wrong today. Just a perfect match for him.
So, the tennis physique for a long time, it has been much more Jannik Sinner, who's kind of taller and leaner than Alcaraz. And like stocky is the wrong word, but he's sturdy, right? He's a strong guy. He's got a little bit more bulk to him. Do we think we'll see more players trying to bulk up a touch to keep up with Alcaraz's power? Or do we think he's just sort of one of those singular freaks of nature who can break the rules?
If you look how big Shelton has got.
Yeah. And
how big actually Draper's got. How big? I'm just trying to think now off the top of my head. I mean, I think it was what Bublik said in an interview. He said that Draper, like when he played him like a year or so ago, compared to when he played him at Roland Garros, he said that Draper now looks like an MMA fighter. Like he's just so big. Like there are guys that are like keeping up like in the gym physically with Carlos, but then again, Carlos is more gifted with a lower center of gravity, I'd say.
Yeah.
And he has that ability to completely outrun anyone on tour.
It's such like a player, but it's so specific to the individual though. Like Draper bulks up, but I mean, for him, fitness was an issue for half a decade. It felt like he needed to, or
No,
he
big
was
time.
like he was struggling to actually play.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, other players, like I think some young players don't necessarily need to bulk up in the same way.
But then again, you look at someone like Fonseca, who has effortless power.
Yeah.
And Fonseca's like, he's not even fully developed. Like, the kid's not even 19 years old yet, and he has an absolute monster forehand.
That's somebody where it's like, he's at a stage in his career where he could lean up, he could stay where he is, or he could bulk up a little bit, right? And so if you're in his box, if I'm them, I'm saying, hey, like, I don't know, do we want to put on 5-10 extra pounds of muscle in the off season? And can you add even more to that power without losing some speed and footwork? And I don't know the answer to that, but Alcaraz certainly can.
I can confirm, Ghosty, that my laptop screensaver is not Jack Draper.
What about your iPhone background?
Oh,
you hesitated for that one.
Well, you just switched it.
Enough, yeah.
Just switch it over to his girlfriend.
Oh yeah, it was Draper, but I just switched.
It was Draper 5 seconds ago.
Well, we're being asked about our favorite MMA fighters.
Any notifications on there because still Ghosty knows way too much about me.
Talking MMA.
Talking MMA.
That sounds crazy.
I mean, Alex Pereira. Anytime that guy gets in the ring, worth giving it a watch. I think he hasn't won in a little bit, but I also do have a soft spot for Michael Chandler, who I have a great deal of respect for as a fighter. And he just kind of got screwed by an on and off again fight with Conor McGregor for about 18 months, unfortunately for him. Well, fellas, chat, talking tennis community. I guess we get the year-end final and the indoor swing.
Yeah. Still have the Asian swing.
Asia will be around for, I assume will be around for the odd match in Beijing, Tokyo, and then Shanghai. And then Paris will be, the odd match will be around.
Alex Yala, of course.
And later, anything that Alex Yala does, we will be around for. Yes.
Yeah, and if Fonseca somehow makes year-end finals, we will 100% be there.
Yeah. Well, so the next gen finals, yeah.
Next gen finals in December. Yeah, Fonseca will be there. Probably. Surely he's already qualified.
Well, I guess that means that probably the great one, the prince who was promised, Lerner Tien, will be there as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Big time.
He will be there for sure.
Producer, what do you mean by that? Do you mean between Carlos and Jannik?
How's the lemons?
Ghosty, you spoil us. You rainmaking son of a gun. Dude. Thank you.
Fergus gets to eat tonight.
Yo, $10 goes a long way when you're in college. That was like, I think 26 servings of ramen noodles when I was in school, at least.
Yes.
Fergus, what are the kids eating these days? Are you guys ripping ramen or what?
Ramen. I love ramen. Ramen's great. Yeah. Specifically, as in my generation, picky eaters. I don't count myself as a picky eater.
Paquita?
Picky eater.
Picky. Oh, sorry. I thought that was like a pokey and fajita combo, and I was like, that sounds interesting. What is that? Picky eater. Picky eater. There we go.
Picky eater. No, picky eater. Sorry, that
sounds like a delicious dish.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
Let's leave it at that.
Marcus E fired up, by the way. If you're a Carlos Sabalenka fan, huge tournament. If you're the Iga and Carlos podcast, Wimbledon was still pretty good.
For real.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Obviously, Iga
turned it around this season, though. Iga turned it around.
I mean, think about it. We were talking like how she was in such a rut, and she was in such a terrible time of it, and now she won a slam, and made the semis of the US. I mean, there was a time where we were really discussing whether she'd get a slam for the year or even make another final this year. So
Jade's comment just got an out loud laugh from me. Well,
insane.
We'll see him in a Calvin Klein ad in no time, and we'll have a better idea then. Yeah.
I actually think if you asked 80% of Arthur Ashe who Lendl is, they wouldn't be able to tell you.
That's probably true.
He was the guy with as much personality as Jannik Sinner.
It's like
Maybe
I
less.
find it really disturbing. Not disturbing. Like, you have to go to smaller tournaments like 250s or like 500s to actually find tennis fans. If you go to a slam, you find tennis fans, but you also find people that are there for the aesthetic. I was in the queue at Wimbledon 2 years ago, and last year, sorry, and I had a very bizarre situation where Cam Norrie rode past me on his bike, and I then went back to the queue and I said, "Oh, Cam Norrie just rode by on his bike," and I was like, and they were like, "Who the hell's that?" And I was
Wimbledon?
like, at Wimbledon, I was like,
These were English people?
These are English people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's just like, you guys are here for the aesthetic of Wimbledon. You guys aren't here to watch tennis, which is really upsetting.
I mean, that is the tournament that the aesthetic is the highest. Like
Yeah.
people, that is the one that people show up for the aesthetic the most for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And you think it's the best one? Spade. Just one more wind up. One more wind up in 2025.
Zero.
Yeah. Ghosty's right. So like tennis is having a moment. We have a young, charismatic star, a great champion, and we also have Jannik Sinner, who's very good. And as a result, there are more people watching and playing. And yeah, like I guess like as somebody who's been a fan for a long time and like yourselves who's been a fan for a long time, like it is frustrating when like there isn't that baseline level knowledge, but at the same time, it's ultimately a good thing for the sport. The people that don't know Cam Norrie, hey, you know what? Hopefully they found out that day. It is kind of weird in that moment. It's like, how'd you end up here? Like you didn't do your homework for this?
No, it's not even like you have to do homework. Like if you're coming to watch Wimbledon, like at least look at the schedule, right? At least look at the friggin' schedule. Like you just get honestly so frustrating. It's like these idiots that get ground passes. They get media passes and they ask Cam Norrie whether he's dating Emirati Rakhanu. And I'm like, how are you a journalist? How did you get a ground pass?
So true. And let the record reflect.
You're terrible at your job.
If the talking tennis team got grounds passes and press passes, that level of unprofessionalism would not be exhibited. And so, maybe that's something that the LTA should consider next year.
The day that I listened to a Wimbledon post-match interview and I hear Damien's voice coming through the microphone, I will live for that day. I'll live for that day.
Mm-hmm.
I'll settle for Damien at Winston-Salem. That's still pretty good.
Has Sinner? That's actually a good question.
Oh.
Has Sinner played a worse match since? I'm actually gonna say no.
I can't remember the last time he looked this out of sorts.
I'm just gonna. I mean, guess the Bublik match.
Well, honestly, the Struff match before the Bublik match was pretty terrible. He won that, but that was pretty bad.
Also, probably one of the Rublev losses last year, right?
Rublev in Canada.
Yeah. That wasn't a good match for him.
I think one of the things that we're seeing though is like, especially in those last few games, Sinner was crushing the ball. I mean, he was hitting a rally ball that like it was silly almost how hard he was hitting it, and Alcaraz just handled that. And so I think like he left it all out there. I just think he didn't have the answer. And I think right now for this version of Alcaraz he saw today, I'm not sure that he does have the answer. Like, we talked about at one point, does he need to get forward more because he's got a good win rate at the net? Like, yes, I think that's the route that he could go. But like, And against every other player on the planet, he can stand on the baseline, crush the ball, hit through them, win. He cannot do that against Carlos Alcaraz. And so I think he's got to add, a few more tools to the toolkit in the offseason. And I think Carson pointed out, the kind of one of the weak spots was his net game. And I think that he can improve upon that. Maybe hiring Goran Ivanisevic, who's available. My favorite.
Hypothetically, he does need a new coach in a couple
of
months.
Cahill's going, isn't he?
Yeah. Cahill's retired. Well, Cahill he's taking a break from coaching at the end of the year.
Yeah, well, he's just getting too much heat from Pavi G, clearly.
Who is Pavi G? I'm not on social media.
You
so
don't know who Pavi G is?
I'm offline, dude. I don't know anything anymore.
Pavi G is an insane human being. Like clinically insane.
Is someone who is so. I'll read you his bio. Actually, I'm gonna read you his bio right now.
Please do.
Bearing in mind, I was just gonna point out that the head-to-head now between these two is now 11-6 Alcaraz. So
this is getting it to be a bit like the Nadal-Federer rivalry, which really wasn't much of one because Nadal won far more often than not.
Pavi G's citizen journalist, BCRL tennis, tennis and paddle player,
citizen journalist alone. Yeah, I'm
exposing
good. Yeah, I know.
Corruption, propaganda, and bias in tennis. Anti-establishment British flag.
Anti-establishment British flag combo is hilarious, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you know what the most celebrated holiday in the world is?
Christmas.
Liberation from the British Empire.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. There's 330 of us here. I'll tell you that much. Sorry. There's like half of Africa. Like there's like a lot of the UK that feels that way.
Yeah, but that's not a holiday because it's not all in one window.
Oh, interesting. But it says, does the holiday by definition have to be on the same day? Anyway, sorry, we'll get back to we're not talking liberation of the British Empire.
No, we're not.
Talking tennis here. Yeah. Alcaraz giving his little speech in that wine-colored ensemble. That's a good-looking. That's a full zip, yeah? That is a full zip. The collar. I think they get to touch that up a little bit, but it's a good-looking number.
I just this is the last thing I'm going to say on Pavi G to you. It's like he's the kind of person that will absolutely love the fact that Jannik has lost today because he was, the doping scandal. I mean, so he thinks that Jannik should have all wins taken away from the last 2 years.
Look, the doping stuff, should. It's a whole mess, but at the same time, at some point we have to move forward, right? Like people, we need to forgive, we need to forget in some cases. Would tennis be better off if we just said, you know what, Jannik Sinner doesn't exist anymore? Alcaraz be running over people. Alcaraz be bored. Alcaraz doesn't want Sinner gone. His biggest rival wants him there. So get over it, Pavi G and co.
Yeah, it's like he tempts me with his posts, but I always get so tempted to post are you gonna get over this anytime soon? Are you gonna get a new hobby? Because this is getting quite boring.
Yeah,
I've never met someone but I've never met him, but I've never heard a more broken record than Pavi G.
That makes me feel happy because I always complain about how terrible the tennis governing bodies are.
He also said that when we reached, I think, we reached 8K on Twitter when we had our old account. He said, congrats, guys. I really don't agree with what you guys promote, but congrats anyway.
Wait, do we have a rival? Is Pavi G our rival? Is
he
the Jannik Sinner, the boring, lame one, to our Carlos Alcaraz, the sexy, cool one?
Anyone that tolerates Jannik Sinner is...
Yeah.
He's the Nick Kyrgios to our Carlos Alcaraz.
Bingo.
One is relevant and cool, and the other one's just a guy who posts too much. You'll notice, Fergus, by the way, do we need to include these fireworks and explosions? Absolutely not. But it's our right to, and we're thrilled to have stuff blowing up in the background. Necessary. They're really firing those things off. That feels like a bit of a safety hazard at this point.
It probably is. But, for them, it's the, the fireworks company they bought it off that they made, like, however much money is, like, winning for them. So, like,
Yeah.
I always feel that the one thing, if you want my genuine opinion, I obviously joke all the time that the US Open is like my least favorite slam, just to wind you guys up.
By the way, that's an excellent article from a trustworthy news source, DW, by one of the most talented journalists in the game. There's no bias. There's no appearance of bias here. John Silk, a.k.a. the Godfather, the Maestro, the man behind it all at Talking Tennis.
Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior.
Okay.
Another J name, something to think about. Yep. And so, yeah, definitely give that a read. Give that a retweet. Give it an amplification. John puts a ton of work in. He did start this tournament off. That's right. Me and him. It was having a glass or two, maybe three of wine, watching Lerner T and Djokovic. And Djokovic looked terrible in that straight sets win.
What was I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, I was talking about the slams. I do think the US Open in these sorts of situations, as in how they do the whole ceremony and how like timings of everything, I think they are the worst run slam.
Just couldn't get out of here with that one more. I'll have to reflect on that.
The trophy ceremony for the women yesterday was awful.
That was a tough watch. That was a
Hold the phone. Do you remember the on-court post-match interviews in Australia this year? They were atrocious. And so I know that's
not like trophy ceremony though.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Those were very bad though.
What do we think of the ball boy kits here? Because I'm not loving that color palette or that pattern.
I never like the ball boy kits in the US. I always think they look kind of tacky.
Is it a little bit like a bridesmaid dress, and that like they're supposed to like not be super great because like you don't want to take away from the bride or the players?
That's exactly what they were thinking.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost all that they sell in the store, though.
Yeah.
Like if you ever go there to the U.S. Open in the Royal Florida store, it's that.
Right.
John Silk died for our sins.
He actually did. He genuinely did.
Okay, Fergus, what's your favorite part about the U.S. Open? I'm gonna take Ghosty's prompt here.
The crowd.
What specifically do you like about it?
The crowd is the best at a major.
You like the rowdiness of it?
I like the rowdiness of it. I like how they could be having the world number 87. You could have Monte playing Echeverry on court 16, and everyone is so hyped.
Yeah, because Quarantine Monte is tennis nirvana.
You could have Echeverry playing Kecmanovic on court 17.
Yep.
And people are still hyped.
That tracks. That tracks.
And if you go to any other major, like it's more like it's like polite, like applause for good points, and like it takes a while for people to get like into a match. Like first point, Kecmanovic, Echeverry, people are so hyped. Like the crowd is really good. Like I do like the US Open aesthetics, like the whole like not that the influencer side, but like just the tennis side. It's a very enjoyable. Like the night matches on Ash are always really enjoyable. Like this year, not particularly, but in years gone by, it's been really enjoyable. There are lots of things I like about the US.
Would you agree that the US Open has the best food selection of any major?
I couldn't comment because I've only ever been to Wimbledon. At some point, I do hope US to go to all four.
Say again, Carson?
Yeah, my US swing.
Yeah, that's it's gonna be Winston-Salem, Cary, and the U.S. Open. It's gonna be like a 5-month swing. You're gonna have a blast, and you're gonna be our au pair. You can be our au pair for a little bit. That's great. We'll put you to work. Yeah.
Does that mean you'll pay for my flight out?
Honestly, if you're gonna be the au pair, like we could talk offline. But that's I don't know. That's a big commitment, man. You ever change a diaper?
Yeah.
Okay, well I haven't, but I'm about to do a whole lot of that here. It's starting in about 5 weeks.
Excellent. Okay. Right,
All
we
right.
have to wrap this up, otherwise we can keep talking for like hours and hours.
We could, honestly, but
Guys, it's been a great year of talking tennis with you
It's
guys.
not over yet. It's not over yet. Don't
It's
say
not
that.
over yet.
It's not over yet.
I don't want to say the good part is, but like
It is. The good
it
part
kind of
is.
is.
But
I mean, we're going
think
into the part of the year where it's like just a terrible time for any of us to stream.
I personally,
You're such a Minnesotan. Yeah, it is. It's about to get cold and dark, and there's less tennis.
Well, no,
It's
I'm
at
just
weird
talking about like
times.
the Asian swing, and like I'm gonna have to get up at 2 a.m. to watch matches. Like,
I guess
Yeah.
the silver lining of having a child on the way here is like I'll just randomly be up at 2 a.m. and fortunately that'll
Yes,
be
so-
there.
so you'll get to watch Kecmanovic Echeverry in like Chengdu in like 2 weeks, and first round, and you'll be buzzing.
When you're
You'll be so buzzing.
what you're describing sounds like an addiction, like oh
I
Kecmanovic and
would-
Echeverry and Chengdu, yeah.
I would never, ever, ever turn on that match ever.
What's the? Oh, let's see. For me, I watched Mapechi Pericard and Mulfee in Australia in the middle of the night, and that was the match where there wasn't a single break of service. Or Mapechi Pericard did have a single break, but it went 5 sets, and like the score line made it look like it was a good match. Awful, and that was when I knew I might have a light tennis addiction. And on the 9th day, God made Jack Draper.
What is the worst tennis match you guys have watched this year?
I don't know. Probably one that I played in. Because I record myself
professional.
I know exactly what it was. It was live. It was in Winston-Salem, and it was Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas was unwatchable. He looked terrible.
That's valid.
he's in
What
a
about you,
tough
Carlos?
spot. I don't know. I mean, usually if a match is bad, I just turn something else on. Like, I'm not like too stuck to watching a match just because it's going poorly.
Wait, hold on. Were the Six Kings? Was that this year or was that last year?
It was
It's
last
happening
year.
this year.
It
So,
will
like,
happen again, but
One of those Six Kings matches was really, really bad. I cannot remember which one, but I remember
It was
being
probably like
oh,
Rune and Nadal.
that was yeah. I was like, oh boy, like he got paid a lot of money to be here, but
Yeah.
Who were the
The
Six
wor-
Kings this year?
Yeah, it's Fritz, Draper.
What is Fritz? What is Fritz supposed to be a king of?
No idea.
Certainly
King
not
of
tennis.
America.
Yes.
Alcaraz, Sinner, Zverev, and Djokovic.
I kind of wish they would just like get Federer out of retirement and throw a bunch of money at
I'd
him
rather see
instead of
that.
yeah. See if he still got it. I
Yep.
wonder. So, Johnny Mac plays in the Old Timers Tour. Is there any world in which Federer, Nadal, or Djokovic ever try their hand at that? Or they've made so much money they're done. Because McEnroe talks about this. He's like, I got kids, and he's got like young kids still. He's like, I got kids in college. Like, I have bills to pay. Like, give me the money, basically. And I don't think that Federer, Nadal, or Djokovic are at that.
I mean, they don't have that problem.
Yeah.
Also, like Federer and Nadal, especially, like those guys are like struggling to walk at the end of their careers.
Yeah.
I actually do it. Well, actually, no. Nadal, I've seen clips of him doing paddle, and he looks like so alive. Like he looks like he's like on a tennis
I
court
believe
again.
it.
Yeah.
He says he hasn't picked up a racket, I think, since he retired. Yeah.
Yeah. I think out of like the big names, I think Murray genuinely looks like he can't walk. Like
Yeah.
It genuinely looks like it pains me to watch him move because it looks so much of a struggle.
Agassi was like that. I mean, I remember the last few matches of his career, they would talk about like, oh, he got like a cortisol injection or whatever, and the doctors say like you can only do it this much, but he's doing this much, and he's like walking onto the court, he looked in bad shape, and walking off, he was like, truly
To
hobbling.
clarify something, Ghosty, Federer is not. But like, if you watch the documentary they did on Amazon Prime about him during the Labor Cup, at the end, like whenever he was not out in front of people, he was in a wheelchair, basically the entire time.
Federer?
Yeah, during the Laver Cup that he played in.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's one. I'm not sure people quite understand how badly he was hurt at the end.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Quick last thing. Quick preview of the Laver Cup this year. US.
So excited to watch Riley Opelka.
Oh my god, who is making that decision?
He is Riley Opelka.
Here's what I want to know.
Yeah.
How many people said no
To get Riley
before they called Riley Opelka?
You cannot tell me you're looking at a list of the rest of the world players and Riley Opelka is 7th on that list.
No shot.
That absolutely, the guy has zero personality. And
did they offer it to Lerner
Tien?
Tien?
Unwatchable tennis players I've ever seen.
He makes John Isner look like Gail Mulfey.
Honestly, I was literally, when I asked you guys earlier what was the worst tennis match you guys have seen this year, and my answer would be Norrie versus Opelka. That game sucked. That match sucked so bad.
So
it was grim.
If I want to be in a bad mood, I will watch Riley Opelka play tennis, and that's the only time. Otherwise, I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. If Riley Opelka was playing Alex Ayala and we were going to get 300,000 watchers, which we sometimes do with her, I still would say I can't do it. I just can't do it. Opelka, yeah. How did that? And because I'm looking and Fonseca's there, and I know that Lerner Tien is somewhere between Fonseca and Opelka. So do they ask Opelka before the prince who was promised, Lerner Tien?
Is this still McEnroe who's in charge?
No, it's Agassi.
No,
it's Agassi and Jannik Noah, by the way. Fun fact: Jannik Noah's son, Joakim Noah, who was an NBA basketball player. I actually had the same teacher as him once. She taught at his high school, then ended up at a high school that I was at, and she said that categorically he was the worst student she'd ever taught. It kind of makes sense.
Brutal.
If your dad is a professional athlete and then a disco star, and then you're also a world-class athlete as a high schooler, I could imagine you're not listening that hard to the teachers.
Just as a couple names to throw out there that could have been over Riley Opelka. Shapovalov, Diallo, Nakashima, Bublik.
Oh yeah.
All of the above. Popperin.
But I guess there's always one random one. So last year it was Kokkinakis in 24. Cerundolo is a Laver Cup staple. So he was the lowest ranked one in 23. They had Jack Sock in 22. Kyrgios in 21. Jack Sock in 2010 and 2019. Yeah, I think I would rather Jack Sock than Riley Opelka.
Yeah, same.
Point too. Yeah, Diallo is an interesting suggestion. I agree with that.
Yeah, I actually think or Chapo, either or. Mm-hmm. Even OG Aliassime. But yeah.
I don't think Felix could because of he's getting married.
So. What about Popyrin?
Popyrin? Yeah.
Popyrin?
Yeah.
Popyrin? That is crazy.
Is Popyrin?
Popyrin.
Popyrin.
Oh, Popyrin. Yeah, Popyrin. Let's see. Yeah, Lerner Tien is 50 in the world, and Opelka is 67. I'm really not sure how he didn't get the nod. Marcos Giron even?
Giron?
Yeah.
Giron.
Yeah, sure. Jack Thompson. That's an easy.
These are USA players, by the way.
Jack Thompson is an Australian.
You're butchering these pronunciations. Right. Anyway, it is time for us to end this stream because, again, we could just talk all night. Honestly. Thank you so much, Carson and Zach, for joining us. It was a pleasure. Thank you, everyone that joined us for not just these last 2 weeks, for the entire Slam season. We will be around for Asia and indoor, and then the end of season finals. hopefully women's and men's. And if we don't see you then, we will be here, Australia, Zach with a crying child in the background. It will be great. Thank you very much, all. You know the drill.
And my unborn child says like and subscribe.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.